3 days ago, I took my M240i on its very first track day. Now today, it's 3 days later, and to be honest, I'm still trying to process what happened on Saturday. I spent the last couple of months preparing this M240i to make it into a somewhat track car. And on Saturday, I actually had the privilege of taking it round a UK racetrack. But how did my car hold up? How did the B58 engine hold up on the track day? So today we're talking about the honest truth about tracking a B58, or in my case, just an M240i. Is the B58 the all-round best engine for doing something like this, or did it have some flaws? We're going to be talking about everything today. Because to be fair, tracking your daily driver, which weighs about 1,500 kilograms, is quite stressful on the car, and it's even more stressful on your bank account if this thing decides to break. Now you might think the first hurdle for this car would be something like getting my helmet on or getting the gloves on, but it's actually worse than that. You see, the first issue for me taking this car on track was the sound. Now you might be thinking, what do I mean by the sound? Well, unfortunately, the track that I went to, they don't care about how good the B58 sounds, they care about decibels. They care about how loud this exhaust system is. And if I was 1 decibel over the limit, then I'm not going on track. No footage, no lap times. This is what happens when you leave your helmet on the bonnet on a windy day. It doesn't stay there. But before I could even get this helmet on, we have to go back in time to Saturday. We have to be surrounded by marshals again, performing a noise test to see if this car actually passes, to see if I can actually get on track. So let's cut back there now. All right?
I'm all right. You might not be after I finish with you.
Oh dear.
Is the boot empty?
Yes.
Completely empty?
I got a coat, which...
Well, that's all right. But
yeah.
Take that out of the car before you go.
Yeah, of course.
But don't go out with it, go out on the circle with it.
Yeah, of course. All right. Here we go. It's the scary part. There we go.
4.5, please. Okay.
All good? Sound?
We've got a sticker, so it's positive, isn't it?
Thanks very much. Success, Ralph.
Success. You got your butt cheeks.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Open, please.
My days. We passed. First time, no issues. Question is Jay in his stock M4 going to pass? Oh dear, it's not looking good. No, he got the sticker. Happy days. Right, let's go and collect our track time. Well, there we have it. We passed the noise test. It was quite a scary thing to do purely because you have to pre-book your track time. And if this car failed a noise test, then the whole day would have been useless. But we passed and we could actually get this thing on track. Then it was about 9 AM. I got my gloves on, I got my helmet on, and we were actually about to go for our first session on track. And it was amazing. We're lining up. This car is hunting down cars that cost 3 times as much. That's purely because this engine, tuned, is so capable. But then physics kicked in. Now you might be thinking, what do I mean that physics kicked in? Well, let me explain, because disaster struck on track. But thank goodness it wasn't actually me. Now the first session, it started strong. We went out, we were all having a blast. Then we all had to come back into the pits. The reason being, somebody blew up their engine. And with their engine blowing up, they didn't just stop, they carried on driving around the entire track, leaving a massive oil slick behind. What did this cause? A massive delay for everyone to go out, have to put sawdust around the whole track, and there was a massive delay. Once that oil slick around the track had been cleared up, it was time to actually get back in the car and enjoy the session again. The issue was, this car had reached some incredible temperatures on the first few laps before we had to come in. Then it was parked up idling for a long time. What happened? Something called heat soaking. This is not good when it comes to making power. Now we're going to cut to the first session in just a few minutes, and we'll actually be able to see myself driving this thing and be able to see what this car managed to do round a track. But heat soaking isn't a good thing. It's when your air intake temperatures get too hot and the car pulls timing and the car just feels really, really slow. Now given this was only an issue for probably 2 more laps after we went back out, once I started reaching some speed and all those temperatures started cooling down, the car was back to its normal 440 horsepower. Now we're going to cut back to Saturday when I had my gloves on and I also had my helmet on, and we were going out for the second session after that oil slick had been cleared up, and I was fully able to push this car to the limit. You guys are going to watch some of the laps now. Again, the first few were a little bit slow, then we started warming up. I'll let you guys enjoy a few laps, then I'll be back to talk to you guys more about the tyres. Now what you just saw was a few of the slower laps with me warming up these semi-slick tyres, but then we started to gradually get quicker and quicker once I felt more confident with the grip that these tyres were providing. Now here's the thing with my tyres and our first session on track. The roads were cold, they were about 10 degrees, and my tyres, they were showing 8 degrees on the iDrive system. That is cold for a semi-slick. Now the first couple of laps I took slow. The reason being, to warm these tyres up, I wanted to get some heat into the braking system, I wanted to get some heat into these semi-slicks before we started pushing it quite hard in the corners. Some of you might be thinking though, how do these tyres hold up? Well, let me show you all four, and you guys can let me know if you think these have even been tracked. I think I could have made these look a lot worse. Here is the outside edge, and to be honest, it looked a lot worse on the day. I've done about 300 miles getting back from the track day, and these have worn a little bit. Now, if we come to the rear, now given the rear, we haven't just been doing track day action. We have been doing a little bit of, let's say, sideways motion, which you guys can see now. Now, of course, doing anything like you just saw on screen is never going to benefit the rear tyres, but let's have a look at them. Let's see how worn they are. And you can see they're not really that bad. These tyres, which I've mentioned in videos before, they hold up really well. And for anyone asking, they are the Accelera 651 Sport semi-slick compound. So it reached that part in the day when the tyres got warm. We got them up to about 45, 50 degrees Celsius. And at this point, I could feel the grip in the car. I could feel more confidence. And of course, the more confident I got, the more I felt like I could push this car into the corners and opening it up more. So let's now play some clips with me pushing this car pretty hard. Do you want to know what the craziest thing is? Watching myself drive this round track from the POV that you guys are seeing looks really slow. But when you're actually in the car and you're the one driving it, you feel like you're going as fast as you feel comfortable with. It's just really weird to see how it looks so slow from my perspective watching it back, when in reality, I was going pretty quick. But even if I wasn't the fastest car round track, and believe me, I wasn't the fastest car round track, there were some cars going round that were absolutely rapid. And to be honest, I just enjoyed having some fun in my F22. But the best part for me of the day was the convoy. The convoy on the motorway, going up with all the other modified cars, going up with some other 240s and some other B58 drivers. It was a really good blast. So I'll play some footage of the early morning convoy. We saw a nice sunset, left at 3:30 a.m. for any of you guys who really wanted to know, and it was a blast.
We fell out of love like shooting stars, came crashing down, and we're building back up again now. I see your heart, see your mind, see all you hide. I won't let you go, can't let this die. When you lose yourself, I'll be right beside you. I see your heart, see your mind, see all you hide. When you lose yourself, I'll be right beside you.
That's it.
Stay tuned, because in a minute or two I'm actually going to play the final laps, my fastest laps, and also some outside POVs that my mates actually managed to take of this car going round track. But for now, we need to talk about how the B58 held up. So let's open up the bonnet and let's see if we spill oil everywhere. Well, here we have it. This is my B58 that did about 30 laps. Now, that's about half an hour of driving this thing at basically maximum. No coolant leaks, no oil leaks. Everything was perfect. Now, for anybody watching one of my videos for the first time, you need to know something. I take care of this B58 like a child. It's crazy to me. I do preventative maintenance basically every day. If you are subscribed, you'll know how much I take care of this engine. And truthfully, I think that's one of the reasons that this thing held up so well on the day. You guys know that I do oil changes every 3,000 miles. I let the car warm up and cool down correctly. I'm always on top of making sure anything that's broken is replaced pretty much immediately. And that's truthfully why I think this thing held up so well. I was not expecting it to break. I knew it wasn't going to break, and if it did, I would have been absolutely blown away, because I've looked after this thing so well that if it did break, I probably would have just parked it up and left it. I'm obviously pulling your leg with that one, guys. I wouldn't have left this thing purely because it broke down on me. I would have towed it back and fixed it, because I love working on it. So now that we know that my B58 didn't blow up, let's play those final laps with me pushing this thing to the limit, as fast as I felt comfortable pushing my daily driver on a track. And we'll also look at some of the outside POVs to see this thing go round. So here it is, me and my mate Carl, we're actually going on track. It's been a bit delayed, it's been a chaotic day, a lot has happened. There's a lot of fast cars going out now. Jay, who you may know, is behind me in the M4. I'll show a few of the cars ahead, and obviously Carl will get his POV of driving. And best of all, we'll have some fun. So we're currently following this beautiful blue M3, and Jay and his dad are behind us. And Carl is getting buckled up, all ready for the day's adventure.
Cleaning all the lenses, getting ready.
Happy days. Let's hope it doesn't rain, because that cloud doesn't look great. But so far about the car has been really good. I hope you enjoyed the first lap. Obviously it's going to be a different perspective now for the second one, and we'll just see, hopefully, that track stays dry. Hopefully it's had a bit of temperature to warm up throughout the day, and I'll have a blast out there today.
Yeah.
Max is trying to work out how the cooler works. We're on a hill and it's in gear, Max, leave it alone. That has been one very successful track day. But for anybody wondering if a Stage 2 tuned B58 with MHD is bad on fuel for a track day, yes it is. I came to the track with a full tank of 97 octane fuel. We now have 80 miles and it's on the quarter. So that is two 15-minute sessions, probably about, I would say, maybe 9-10 laps per session. This thing has eaten through the fuel, but it's been an absolute blast and so much fun. Well, there we have it. I hope you guys enjoyed some of those driving clips. Yes, I looked a little bit silly with my helmet on, but it's safety first. And truthfully, this thing works, so I can't complain. This has blown me away. For a daily driven car, which is my daily driver, with a good engine, it's done very well. And like I mentioned earlier, if any of you guys are watching my video for the first time, this isn't your somewhat stock 240i. It's got a very good braking system as well as an LSD, lots of bolt-on suspension mods as well. It's not your standard engine with a Stage 2 tune. So if you do want to know what I've done to this car, then hit subscribe down below. It's completely free and you get to see all the content that I make on the car. So in conclusion, am I going to be pushing my daily driver on a racetrack again? 100%. And in May, we're also taking it to Germany, to the Nürburgring for like the 3rd time, which is going to be crazy. If that's not a reason for you guys to subscribe, then I don't know what is, because this thing going around the Nürburgring and us having some fun in Germany is going to be insane. So before I stick this helmet back on and before I put these gloves back on my hands to drive this car round track again, I want you guys to let me know in the comment section any ways I can improve the driving. I know some of you guys might not be familiar with the track that I did go on, which if you're wondering is Castle Combe Circuit. If any of you better drivers out there want to give me any professional tips of things I can improve, anything I could do to make the car drive better around track, I'd obviously really appreciate it. So if you guys do want to leave any information, please comment down below, or you can check out my social medias like my Instagram and my TikTok. They're linked in the description. Apart from that, I'm going to be back on track with this thing very soon. If you guys want to see it, subscribe. If you liked the video, then you can like it. More people will see it that way, and more people get to see my M240i, which I quite like. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching today. Bye for now.